What we're going to learn today is that we're going to learn about exponents. We're going to learn about adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and an exponent over an exponent. So the first rule is adding and subtracting. And the only rule to this one is that the exponent number has to be the same for you to add them. So let's look at an example. So let's say we have 4x squared plus 2x plus 6x squared. So from here, it's like combining like terms. So I see an x squared right here and x squared right here, so I know that they combine. And if they combine, 4 plus 6 is 10, x squared plus 2x. This one does not combine with this one because they have a different exponent number. If I was going to do subtraction, the idea is the same. So if it's 8x minus 4x minus 6x squared, what ends up happening is that these two will combine. Since they have the same exponent number, they're technically an imaginary 1 right here. So the final answer would be minus 6x squared. 8x minus 4x is going to be plus 4x. So if I have a question like this, right? Let's say it's 8x to the third power minus 4x. And I said, hey, subtract them. Well, the answer here would actually be the same thing. So the answer would be 8x to the third power minus 4x. The reasoning why is that these two can't subtract because they don't have the same exponent number. The next topic that we're going to go over is multiplying exponents. So to multiply an exponent, there's only one rule. The one rule is that you actually add the exponent. And let's take another look at an example of that. So if I have 4x times 3x squared times 2x to the third, we first look at the outside numbers. So we got the 4, the 3, the 2. 4 times 3 is 12, times 2 is 24, x. And then there's technically an imaginary 1 right here. So now we add all the exponents. So 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. So with multiplying exponents, we actually add them. So let's take a look at another problem. Let's say I have 2x to the fourth times 3x times 5x to the second. So from here, what we're going to do is look at all the outside ones. 2 times 3 is 6, times 5 is 30. And then we have an x. There's an imaginary 1 right here. 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. So then that would be the answer. The next topic we're going to go over is exponents over an exponent. And the rule for this one is that you're going to multiply it. So this is an example. So let's say we have 2x squared to the third power. So from here, this 3 goes over here, and 2 to the third power is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2 is 8. And then we go right here, x to the second power times 3 is 6. So that would be the answer. So if I was going to do another one, let's say 3x to the fourth power squared. The first one will go here. So 3 to the second power is 3 times 3, which is 9. And then if it's an exponent over an exponent, we multiply. So 4 times 2 is 8. And that's how you do exponent over an exponent, is that you simply multiply. The last one we're going to go over is dividing. So when you're dividing exponents, the rule is you're going to subtract them. So let's look at it in an example. So let's say we have 4x to the fourth divided by 2x to the third. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then 4 minus 3 is going to be 1. So the answer would be 2x. So let's look at another example that's could be a little bit more complicated. So let's say we have 1/2 x to the sixth, x to the second, y to the third, and then y to the ninth. So 1/2, it can't be divided and it can't be reduced. So I'm going to leave it as 1/2. 6 minus 2 is 4. And then y 3 minus 9 is going to be negative 6. In terms of exponents, they can never be negative. And if they're negative, they're going to flip over to the opposite side, like this. So the final answer would be 1/2 x to the fourth, y to the sixth. Let's go ahead and do one more example. So let's say we have 8 over 2. So we have x to the 6, or negative 6, x to the second. And let's say we have y to the negative 3, and then y to the 7th. So how we attack this one is that we do 8 divided by 2, which is 4. And then minus 6 minus 2 is going to be x to the negative 8. And then y to the 7th minus y to the negative 3rd is going to be positive 10. And then we know if it has a negative exponent, it goes to the bottom. So then the final answer would be 4x, or sorry, it'd be 4x to the 8th on bottom, and then y to the 10th on top. And then that would be your final answer.